So you've decided to go with a PVC deck board for your low maintenance option. And you're holding two different boards in your hand. You've got your TimberTech Azek and you got your Clubhouse board. Which one is going to be better for your backyard deck? Well, we're going to evaluate the two boards in comparison in regards to appearance, traction, price, and durability and warranty to see which one's the best one for you. If you find this information helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up and let's get right into it. So first of all, what am I holding in my hand? This is a Clubhouse PVC board. So this has core light. Am I getting that right? Core light technology, which means that the top of the composite board and the bottom of the PVC board have been hardened to give it more strength and durability. So the technology says. One of the other things that they claim is their boards are 30 degrees cooler than their competitor brands. Your Azek claims the same thing, 30 degrees cooler than their competitors' brands. Now, Shane from the Ultimate Deck Shop has done much more research in this regards. And I'm going to go more with his conclusion than what they're telling us in regards to 30 degrees cooler. Yes, there are PVC boards. So they are cooler than most composite decking boards. But it really is going to be the color that's going to make the difference. If you have a lighter board, as my kids so excitedly used to always come and tell me when they're in grade 1, if you get a lighter board, this is slate gray, it's going to be cooler than your dark. Well, this is a great dark hickory. If you go to the lighter board, it's going to be cooler on your feet than a darker board. And that is really going to make a bigger difference than the technology that's in the board. But that being said, PVC material does transfer heat faster, but holds less of it than wood-based composites. So it will be a little bit cooler in that regards. But how much difference? You have to check with your own backyard to see what that looks like. So over to Azek. They claim to have 40% more traction than competitor brands. I ran the numbers. They have 40% more traction than like a Trex Transcend board. Not 40% more than their competitors' PVCs. Because most PVC decking boards have better traction than almost any other boards on the market. Decorator's Mineral might be the one exception that's up there with the PVC boards. But most PVC boards have better traction than your composite deck boards. So yes, Azek has 40% more than composites boards, but not more than their competitor PVC boards, either Clubhouse either. And I will take a little bit better look at that later. Azek also claims to have armored technology. Am I getting that right? Alloyed armored technology, AAT, to minimize scratching, which is the Achilles heel of composite decking. Most synthetic decks scratch easy. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Generally speaking, most of the scratching is going to happen in 2 times. 1, when you're building your deck. So be careful as you move your boards around. 2, when you pull your chair across your deck. So be careful in those scenarios. Put little soft bumpers underneath your chair, or don't pull it, carry it. Be careful while you're installing it. You take it with a knife, it's going to scratch. Any material is going to scratch. Is it a little bit more durable? I have yet to be able to figure out a good test to find out which board is actually more durable against scratching. But they have their alloyed armored technology, so they're trying to make it a little bit more durable for will scratch less. Another one beautiful thing about Azek, and this is much more if you're in a wildlife interface area, urban wildlife interface area, is it has a Class A fire spread rated. So it's not going to burn. Well, it will burn. Don't get me wrong there. It will burn. But the speed the flames go across it is extremely low. A Class A if I remember correctly, is similar to concrete, which really doesn't burn. It's absolutely amazing. Most composite decking is Class C, which means the flames will go across it. I don't know exactly what rate it will be, but Azek has made their boards for a Class A, which gives it a phenomenal rating, especially for an urban wildlife interface, something like that. California, it's a very big thing. Other places, it might also be an important thing. But if you are concerned about fire going from your decking into your house, Azek is a good option for that. And as, I don't know if you've been noticing, this board is 7 1/4 inches that I'm holding in my hands here, compared to the standard 5 1/2 inches. I think it's 5 3/8 if we get really technical. That's another advantage of the Azek PVC boards, is their Harvest and Vintage collection have multiple dimensions. So if you want to get fancy with your deck boards, you can have a 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, followed by a 7 1/4. I think the Vintage line actually goes all the way up to 9 1/4, which is a very big deck board if you want to dress it up that way. Where your Clubhouse boards, 5 1/2 inches, that's what you got. That's what you're installing. Nothing very fancy with that. The same standard board. But with Azek, you have some options in regards to dimensions. So we said we're going to compare the two, and this is some of the things we compare about. So Clubhouse has better traction than Azek, and I'll get into the details of that later. And I think they're more durable. Like I said, I think they're more durable. I don't have hard tests to prove that. But with their acrylic cap, they do seem to have a lot more durability with it. If you grab your Azek boards, this is the Arbor collection, which is discontinued now, so you can't even install that. Sorry about that. This is the Landmark collection, which is their newer expanded line. If you look very closely, how can you see that? There's actually little lines across it here. It's supposed to be machining lines from when you're working with your wood. One of the advantages of that is if you intentionally put small scratches on the board, when you accidentally put small scratches on the board, you can't see it. It's camouflaged in. Something they've been thinking about with Landmark there is put a few scratches this way, a few scratches this way, and you're not going to see the scratches. Brilliant. 7 out of 10, perfect every day. So that's one of the beautiful things about, so one of the advantages of Azek over Clubhouse is price. I'll get more details of that. And like I said, they have more dimension options, and they also have a few more colors. I think they have a little bit more depth in their color, but beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So you'll have to decide that one. So let's get right into it. So Clubhouse has 2 collections, the hardwood collection, and they also have the earth tone collection. Earth tone has 4 colors. Hardwood has 6 colors. Hardwood has like Ipe here, which is a hardwood, Brazilian hardwood, actually one of the hardest woods you're going to find ever. And then this is from the earth tone collection of sandstone, which has, I don't think if these ones show enough. You see the hardwood series has more variation and more color streaking in it than the earth tone ones, which are just the solid colored boards. Azek now has 11 colors to choose from. They have the vintage collection. There's a big, huge vintage board. This is in the coastline. So vintage is one of their better of their PVC lines, if we're going to call it that. So that's how that one looks. That's a 7 1/4 there. So coastline. And then they have their Landmark collection. Like I said, this is the one that has the small machine scratching on this way, and also has traction on this way. And the Landmark collection has 3 colors now. They just brought a new color out this year. And the Harvest collection, which is their older, more original board. And here's a Harvest one. This is slate gray. I don't know if you can kind of see that. So this has got deeper wood grains. You can see the evolution of the care that they're using with their boards now. So I think in Landmark, they've taken the cap to the next level for appearance. So if you're strictly looking for the better looking board, consider the Landmark or their vintage lines. I'm going to grab another vintage board here. This is the dark hickory, which is going to be hot on your feet, but it does have a better looking wood brushed finish, wire brushed finish than your Harvest line. So something to consider for appearance wise. But the Harvest collection also has 3, so 3 plus 3 plus 5, that gets us to 11. So they have one more color selection, but I think they've taken a little bit more care. Well, let's just compare the two. So this is the ironwood from the Clubhouse. So there's a nice cathedral pattern in there. And this is the dark hickory from Vintage. So I guess it's going to depend a lot of what pattern you want to see wood grain on your deck. It's not going to really be that one is better than the other, even though you got one more color option, but how many colors are you going to actually put on your deck? Now, in regards to traction, most PVC boards have better traction than composite. So if that's important for you, you've done well by staying in the PVC line. Clubhouse is the clear winner between these two lines, between Azek and Clubhouse. Clubhouse is the best of the two for traction. Clubhouse is actually up on the whole rating of best traction boards. Clubhouse is up near the very top. I think only Zuri has better traction consistently than Clubhouse. Actually, I think there's one other brand. You should check the links down below. I can't remember off the top of my head. Where for your Azek, they don't have nearly as good as traction. They have good traction, better traction than most composite wood boards, a wood-based composite, but not as good as traction as your Clubhouse. So just to get some numbers, Clubhouse 0.97 when dry, 0.86 when wet, 0.5 the CCMC says is good. So they're getting way better than that. The Vintage drops down to 0.74 when dry. And your Harvest collection, this one here. This one actually is a very bad board for traction. It's 0.28 when dry. That's even worse than Fibron's wood plastic composites. That is really bad when dry. Yeah, if traction's critical for you, stay away from Azek Harvest collection. They just don't got it. The intriguing thing, and this is probably a good thing, but if you pour a little water on this, it jumps up to 0.59. It almost doubles in traction. That does double in traction. When you add water, which I don't know what's going on there, but that's what CCMC says, so I can't argue with them, that's decent traction. But for it is dry, yeah, you're gonna slide on your Azek Harvest collection. So traction's important, Clubhouse is the one to go with. For price, now this is where Azek is better. Again, your market's gonna differ a little bit, but just for a rough ballpark figure, Harvest is roughly $5 a lineal foot. You jump up to your Landmark, those are a little bit more machine marking on there. You're about $6 a lineal foot. And if you jump up to your vintage collection, you're about $7 a lineal foot. So you're pretty good looking prices of boards there. They're on the higher end compared to composite boards, but still overall affordable. For Clubhouse, we start right off at the top. Earth tone, the more solid colors, we're looking at about $7 to $8 a lineal foot. So right away, it's more expensive than any of the Azek lines. And then if we go to the hardwood, which is the better looking boards, you're probably looking somewhere between $9 and $11 a lineal foot. Again, it depends on your market and where you are. And this is one advantage us Canadians have. If you're buying Clubhouse, it's going to be a little less in price and cost because it's Canadian made. But it is a more expensive PVC board than almost all the other composite deck boards out there. Something to be aware of. So warranty-wise, same thing happens there. Not the flip, the same thing exactly. Azek comes with a 50-year fade stain structural warranty. You are good for practically a lifetime. If you're 20 years old and you live to 75, you might have to replace your deck if you live in the same house. And that's amazing. You live in one house for that long enjoying that deck. Good for you. But with your Clubhouse boards, they're only warranted for 25. Not going to say they're not going to last longer, but they're only warranted for 25. So half the amount of time, fade structural and fade warranty. So something to be aware of. If warranty is very important to you and you want the longest possible, Azek is a better one. Clubhouse is going to give you 25 years, and that's going to give you a lot of time to enjoy your deck, but not nearly as much as Azek is going to have. So hopefully it helps you figure out which one is best for your deck. And either way, I hope you enjoy your deck.